Hello and welcome to this short tutorial on how to maximize your time by working offline. So today we're going to talk about how you can maximize your time efficiently by working partially offline when you're studying. Now a lot of our students, and you may be one, work or live or travel in areas where there can be intermittent internet access at best. So we're just going to share with you a few tips, things that you should do to prepare yourself for when you might not have internet access or even access to power, for example. So the first thing that you might want to do, and we're going to use a student readiness orientation class, which you should all be familiar with, but it's more or less the same as your module classroom as well. So the first thing that you should do always when you get in is read the announcements. That'll always be the first page that you see, just to make sure that there's no important information there for you. And then after that is to go to the class syllabus and save it to your computer, or if you like, print it out as well. So each class on the top left will have a button or somewhere that's marked syllabus, like I'm showing you now, and you just click on there, and then the syllabus will appear in front of you. Now, what you can also do is just read it here, of course, but then you can print it, or you can get the PDF of it and save it to your computer. So I'll just show you here now. You can see you've got the PDF here now, and now you can save it to your computer. And you can also print it out. So if you click on print page, and depending on the operating system that you're using on your computer, a box like this or one similar will appear on your screen. Now you want to select Adobe PDF option for printing. If you don't have that feature on your computer, you can download it, and where you can do that is coming up on the screen at the moment. So simply highlight it, click on it, whatever your computer does, and then click on print. And what will happen is that the PDF will be created for you on your screen. So you can see here now, like this. Now, also, you'll have noticed, and I said before, there's a Get PDF button as well. So that's simple. If you just click on the Get PDF, that screen I just showed you will automatically appear. And then you can save that, again, depending on which operating system you're using. There'll be a save icon somewhere you can see here. This is Internet Explorer. And you can just save that onto your desktop or wherever you're saving the files for your computer. So now we're looking at an actual classroom, and I want to talk to you about downloading your learning resources for the coming weeks and making sure that you know which chapters of your textbooks, which articles in the library that you have to go and find. So, as I said, information is always released the day before an academic week starts, but most classes, you should have access to the learning resources for the coming weeks. That's your required readings and extra readings if you have time to do it as well. You should have access to those well in advance. Now, they'll either be listed on the left-hand side of the classroom, like here, or else they'll be listed in your class syllabus, which we talked about at the beginning of the presentation. So if you just go to learning resources, like I'm doing at the moment, so very simply in week one, there's a few PDFs, these kind of things that you need. You can just click on these and then download them onto your computer, like I'm doing at the moment, as you can see, and then you just click on save. Now, if we go back to the classroom, we'll go to a further week. Let's go to week 3. And in here, you will see there is a chapter of a textbook that you need to read. So you'll have that textbook, so you'll just be able to mark that off. It'll also be said in your syllabus as well. But now you can see as well, there's a list of academic articles and websites for you to visit for your required and supplemental reading resources. Now, if you have some spare time, or if you can make some time, go through these weekly readings a few weeks in advance, log into the library and download as many of them as you can. Save them onto your computer, save them onto your folder in the library if you're using that function. Create a folder on your desktop, maybe for week 1, maybe another one for week 2, week 3, etc. Download these, and then you have them. So then as you come to each week, and maybe your employer sends you off to a remote region somewhere you don't have a lot of internet access, but you do have your laptop, then you'll be able to look at the discussion question that's due for Saturday, and then you'll be able to do the weekly readings. Everything will be saved to your computer, and that way you'll be able to efficiently work offline, and you won't miss any of your deadlines because you haven't been able to access your work. So You may also be traveling or working or not have great internet when you're approaching your discussion question deadlines or at the start of the week at any time anyway, and it can be very inconvenient. So what you should do is you should always be prepared. First of all, go through the syllabus and know when all of your deadlines are first. Now, each week, your academic week always starts on a Thursday. But the information for that coming week will always be available the day before on the Wednesday, around noon GMT. So that's UK time. So you can work that out to your own time zone. But that's when it'll be available. So you can go in and have a look at the discussion question that's coming up, at the hand-in assignment for the following week, at the learning sets or teams if you're a doctoral student, well ahead of time. And what you can do is you can get these discussion questions, for example, and you can save them onto your computer. So then, hypothetically speaking, the next thing that you would have to do to go online would be to submit. You wouldn't have to spend time going online each night when you want to work on your discussion question. So if we go to the using discussion section here, you'll see, so take for example, if this was your weekly discussion question, you have the same options again here, print page or get PDF, and then you can save it onto your computer. If we go through the sections here, again, you can see this is an example of what I was talking about. It's print page, but then you would click on that, and like I talked at the beginning of the presentation, you select the Adobe PDF option, and then that'll help you to save it to your computer. Now, of course, if you're not that secure with IT, if you're not that IT literate, another very simple way of doing things, and let's go on to an actual discussion board here, is you can go on the discussion board. And you could simply copy and paste it from here, like this, onto a Word document on your computer, for example, and then maybe you could write your response to it underneath, and then you would be able to just have to go back online on the Saturday or whenever your deadline is and submit your work. So another great thing that you can do to save yourself spending time logging onto the internet is to save the entire discussion forum onto your computer. It's very simple. You come to the discussion board like I've done here, this week 1 discussion board, and you go to File and go to Save As. Now, you can see here it's just giving me the option to save it. So it's called Blackboard Academic Suite, but you can change it to what you want. I'm going to save it like this, but make sure the Save As type is in Web Archive single file. And then I'm going to save it onto desktop, like you can see I've done here, and now I'm going to click on Save. And now I've gone to my desktop, I've just clicked on it, and as you can see it's open for me, and I can go through each discussion question now, and I'm working completely offline because the entire web page and its content has been saved to my computer. Of course, you could also do this for your class syllabus or for the discussion questions like we discussed earlier. An important thing to remember when you use this option is that you won't be able to post replies. This is not live, it is not online. The web page and its content has been simply saved to your computer. If you've written a reply using these posts, you will still have to log back into your Lens account, go to your classroom, and then post that reply. So this is simply a way of doing it offline to save yourself time. In summary, there's a couple of different ways that you can save the content of your classroom onto your computer so that you can work offline. You can print out information such as your class syllabus and a weekly discussion question. You can also save it as a PDF to your desktop, for example. If you don't have that option, you can always go to print page and then convert it to a PDF like I did at the start of this video. You can also come to a discussion board like this or any other feature of the classroom, and you can save the entire web page content to your computer. And the most important thing is always to remember that that is not a live environment. So you will eventually have to log back into your Lens and then your classroom so that you can submit things in there. So I hope you found this presentation useful, and please do remember to visit the rest of our Student Center YouTube channel for the rest of the helpful and useful tutorials there.